Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. 2, check ignition, and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade. And the papers want to know whose shirt you wear. Now it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control. I'm stepping through the door, and I'm floating in the most peculiar way. And the stars look very different today. For here am I sitting in the tin can, far above the world. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. I'm past 100,000 miles. I'm feeling very scared, and I think my spaceship knows which way to go. Tell my wife I love her very much, you know. Ground control to Major Tom. Control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your
Not own the
helmet
rights to this
on.
song.
Ground control to Major Tom. 7, 6, commence.
Seeing Tom age. And so it's a great reminder of how old I've gotten. But, in the other film we saw about all of the deceased coaches and players, I think all but 2 I knew personally, and all of them were important one way or another in my life. And so I guess kind of looking back at the last 45, 50 years, whatever, the thing that I've come to realize, the championships are nice, and winning is nice, and rings and watches and those things are nice. But it isn't very long before most of those things end up in the trash heap, and in a few years, all those things are forgotten. And the thing that's really enduring and the thing that's important is relationships. And so at this point, not hardly a week goes by, I don't hear from one of you, sometimes 2 of you, 3, 4, 5 of you. And so seeing what you've become and realizing that a lot of you have become very successful, not just at making money or professionally, but as in terms of being good people, has been the most important thing. And so, yeah, we did care about you, and we were concerned about your education, and we were concerned about your value system. And I want you to make sure that you understand that what Trev said in that sense was very true. Probably the hardest day of my life and the hardest phone call I ever made was to Jan Barron the day that Brooks' plane crashed. And I know how hard it was for her to even comprehend what had happened. And so sometimes life is short, and sometimes life is long. And so I tried to get across the idea that spirituality was important. And sometimes people equate spirituality with religion. But spirituality is actually dedication to a cause, a person, or a purpose that's larger than yourself. And I think that was essentially what was woven into the culture from Bob Devaney on, that it wasn't all about you, it wasn't all about me, but what was important was what happened to the whole organization. And that's what really made us good. And so I think for 42 years, we won 82% of our games. And I know people say, well, what about that other 18%? That wasn't so good. But the next school in order was white at 75%. And 7% is a big difference. We won 70 more games than anybody. And most of that was the culture. It wasn't, we had good athletes, we had great athletes, but a lot was the culture. And I want you to remember at this point that what Scott Frost has had to do is he's had to change the culture. And culture is kind of like a battleship. It's not something you turn on a dime. It's something that takes time. I didn't have to do that because I had Bob ahead of me, and I knew what the culture was, and people around me knew what the culture was. And so we hope you'll have your support. And I think tomorrow you'll see a team that will play hard, and hopefully we'll get that thing swung around. So anyway, thank you for being here tonight. I want to thank George, thank for all the people on the committee for this idea and for doing this, because this is something that has been needed. And George has put a lot of time and a lot of effort into it. I just can't thank you enough. And I want to thank all you guys for the price that you paid and the things that you accomplished while you were here and what you've done with your life after football, which has been very important. So thank you very much.